creates a lot of mental trauma that you don't realize. आप एकदम handicapped होके घर पे बैठ जाते हैं. And this is not your age to sit. हम सब लोग जवान हैं. We want to run around. I don't want to say it because I will list 100 things. I'll say it was not a very like conscious decision कि हाँ बस अभी ना तो ना. I had to somehow get my game up to the dancers. This is a part of the job. You have to deal with it. What I want to write, what I want to share, what I want to show, I will do it. Hi, this is Nikita Dutta and you are watching me on Tellychakkar.
Well, I have with me somebody who's quite gorgeous looking today, but then उसके अलावा देखा जाए उनके काम की तुलना हम नहीं कर सकते because the काम has only grown one step higher every project that she's taken. Well, Nikita, firstly, welcome on Tellychakkar.
Thank you so much.
Well, I would just say that, you know, talking about Rocket Gang and the journey that you have had, I'm sure has not been like a bed of roses. It has been a bed of quite a bit thorns and then struggles and everything.
Lots of thorns,
Lots
rather.
of thorns.
Roses I'll come to know now, but lots of thorns.
But then how has the suffer been for you? Has it been like the suffering wala or the suffer wala?
I have to say both. बहुत English का suffer किया है, बहुत ज़्यादा. When I think about that, I only think about the number of injuries that I have gone through. Physical injury also kind of creates a lot of mental trauma that you don't realize. मेरे को especially क्योंकि 3 बार हो गया इस फिल्म के दौरान, आप एकदम handicapped होके घर पे बैठ जाते हैं. You can't move around, you're restricted, you can't do a lot of tasks, you're, you know, kind of confined into your home. Now, of course, we can, you know, say that and we've all experienced because of the lockdown. But if you completely take that out of the picture, having an injury is not the best thing to have because, you know, otherwise you're fine. But you can't move at all. And this is not your age to sit. हम सब लोग जवान हैं. We want to run around. We want to like walk around and do our own things.
Working, they can't sit.
They cannot sit. They cannot sit. So I think it creates a lot of anxiety. It creates, you know, it disturbs you from within. You start feeling very useless is what I used to go through. So overall, when I think about all of that, the injuries that I went through and all, suffer बहुत सारा हुआ. It's a part of हिंदी का suffer. It is overall, if you see, एक experience रहा है, इतना कुछ सीखा है, इतना कुछ देखा है, झेला है. तो अभी जब सब कुछ it's like it's on its last leg and finally the audience is going to see it. When I look back at it, I'm very grateful कि ये सब देखने को मिला because I'm sure it's going to be like an experience of a lifetime.
The first time when you were reading the script, or maybe, you know, when you were being briefed कि अच्छा ऐसा character होगा, ये कहानी है, not as an actor but as an audience, what was your perspective?
I think, so I didn't read the script, I was given a narration for the first time by the writers and Bosco sir himself. And I remember when the narration happened, I think like I could visualize it. When I was visualizing while the narration was going on, you know, I was very fascinated by my own visuals because that's how it was narrated to me. That's what attracted me towards the film because I thought कि ऐसे मैंने इसको visualize किया है, ऐसे मुझे सुनाया जा रहा है और अगर ऐसे film बनती है तो I think audience के लिए एक बहुत अच्छा experience होगा, visual experience.
But then has it achieved that mark?
So to be very honest, that's going to be the verdict of the audience.
But then according to you, because I'm very sure a lot of actors are like a self-critique.
Yes, so that's why I don't want to comment because I'm very self-critical. I don't want to say it because I will list 100 things that I am getting bothered with and it's not fair, it's not fair. I want the audience to give their very fair judgment towards it. But I think that's what I had in mind when I heard the script. I wanted to be a part of this visual experience that the audience gets to see. That's what got me attracted to it.
So when you were deciding कि okay यार TV से Bollywood में jump लगानी है, you know, did you also have those limitations in your heart like oh क्या होगा, like those questions in your heart, or were you like let's go for it?
You know, it actually happened gradually. If I think back of 2017, I had signed Gold at that time. And after signing Gold is when I took up my third TV show. That was called Hasil. Hasil के दौरान ही I was shooting for Gold at the same time. And Hasil I knew was a finite show. तो उसके खत्म होते ही in a couple of months Gold had come out. When Gold came out and Hasil got over, I think that's when I somewhere had this in my mind that this is going to be my transition phase. And I think this is time I need to make the switch. I'll say it was not a very like conscious decision कि हाँ बस अभी ना तो ना. But it happened with time. I think also because I kept saying no to a lot of TV shows that came my way and I started like going for film auditions. I started considering कि नहीं अभी focus इधर करते हैं. A bit of a drawback as well because you know in television you're so used to constantly working, you're so used to constantly a source of income that's coming because we are working every day. All of that stops. Okay, so somewhere you feel कि काम नहीं हो रहा है, you know, you're not going to work and you know money is not coming in. So these are some things that you have to face. But I think that was necessary because if I wouldn't go through that process, I wouldn't be able to make that switch.
अगर अब आपको मौका मिलता है, you know, to actually just make an appearance in a TV show or maybe come back on the TV cassette or something, would you choose that if given a chance? चाहे वो एक finite series होता, but would you do that?
I'll tell you, it honestly depends on what the concept is. I'll be very honest about it because I feel television is trying to evolve, but it's very slow. Luckily, OTT has, somewhere it's at par with films, the kind of content that's coming on OTT. But with television, it's still slightly regressive and it's still functioning on the same old ways. So unless that changes, maybe I won't be drawn towards it.
But then what is that one character on the television that you feel that if in the near future, if ever it is made, or you would want to be a part of that kind of a character, if it comes on TV, then you might think about it?
I don't think so. Nothing as of now. Nothing as of now. Unless something new comes up, or unless I'm a big fan of sitcoms. So some of the shows that I'm a big fan of, say like a Friends or a How I Met Your Mother or a Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So somewhere if we match that, if we really match that level, I know, I'm setting the bar very high. But if we match that and something like that is created on our television, I would love to be a
That's
part
a
of
huge
it.
mark,
Yes.
I would say. But then if I
Yes.
talk about Rocket Gang and seeing how the journey is going to be beautiful enough and the fans are going to be a better judge of it. But then what was your takeaway? What is that one point in the whole project of that you felt that, oh, this just changed my perception over, let's say,
I think my takeaway has got a lot to do with shooting dance numbers. I did not know it was that tedious unless I got into it, number one. Number two, I feel being a part of dancing songs is quite an experience in itself. Not all films give you the privilege to have
Yes.
like a song in which you're getting to dance and all. And at the same time, what happens is, a lot of times, when you're the main lead, the steps are made according to you. There is a step that you're not getting, they'll change it, they'll tweak it, they'll make it easier so that at least, the main actor and the actress kind of are comfortable with it. And everybody adjusts accordingly. But here, it was not like that. Here, it was just the other way around. I had to somehow get my game up to the dancers. There were times when the steps used to be really difficult. I used to be struggling, but I knew that the step is not going to be changed. It's like a do or die situation. I just had to, there was no option. So I think somewhere that has brought the spirit in me, where also now I've started thinking that nothing's impossible. Like if you put your body, mind, heart, everything into it, you can somewhere get there. You might not be perfect, but you'll get there.
one thing is that as soon as you're growing in your career, the minimalistic line between the audience and the privacy and the personal life just diminishes.
Yeah.
And anywhere that you go, any person that you meet unfortunately becomes like the big news.
So far, I'll be honest, I have managed to keep my personal life a lot to myself. My close people, my personal relationship for that matter, my family, everything has been very protected, and I'm really glad I've been able to keep it that way, like that I'm kind of a private person. I think it's also how you approach it. There are sometimes you want to share with people, there are sometimes you want to be seen with people, there are sometimes you don't want to be seen with people.
How do you react about the articles written about you? Good, bad? How is that takeaway and feedback for you, for that matter? Because I can see how a lot of time a line just goes like...
Yeah. See, that's the thing, right? Like, this is a part of the job.
Indeed.
You have to deal with it. Reading good or bad things about you, for that matter, trolls telling you certain things. There are times on Twitter, there are trolls who kind of say all sorts of things. On Instagram, sometimes the comment section, you read it. There was a time when I go back to 2016 where it did affect me a lot when I saw people write a lot of hate.
Know all about the Telly world by subscribing to Tellychakkar's YouTube channel. Don't forget to hit the bell icon to stay updated to our new videos.